Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with Joseph Corella. And who is Joseph Corella? Well, he's a dancer. He's an expert at movement. He's the kind of person that we would all love to have as a personal trainer to get us our get up and go. He's an instructor, a choreographer, a performer, and a dance fitness expert. He has an interesting YouTube channel that we will talk about, and he also engages his audience quite interestingly. So before I go on, because I'm sure he'll clarify many things, let me introduce you to him. Come on in, Joe.
Hi,
hello, welcome.
Claudia, thank you so much for having me. It's so great to be here and chat, and I'm excited to talk about life, really.
Yeah. A soft-spoken fitness coach. That's what I would call it.
Right now, you should see me when the dance magic kicks in, and suddenly I'm like bouncing off the walls.
Well, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about your career, but all of the things that you do have to do with movement. And I'm a cheerleader for movement. Movement is life. That is life, period. So let's talk about the power of movement. And then we'll go on to the music and all of that. Go on. You have the floor. You can say anything you want, but I warn you, I will butt in.
Oh, I love it. Please,
okay,
please
go
do.
ahead.
This is why I love doing podcasts, is having conversations and talking,
Yeah.
learning from each other, which I think is really important. I started dance when I was a kid.
Sort of.
See,
I sort of danced. You went on to dance. What do you mean, sort of?
Well, I started when I was like 7 in Phoenix, Arizona, and I have to admit, when I was growing up, there wasn't a lot of male dancers. I had an older brother that danced, which was helpful, but I went to a private school, and let me tell you the journey of.
But
I went to private school, then
Did he go to private school too?
My brother did not. He was my older brother, but that's kind of what introduced me to dance, and then
now wait a minute. That's an interesting thing. That's an interesting difference, because. Why does he go and I can't go, and why was there a reason for both of you to go to different schools, or how old?
Well,
of a different
we
school?
were about 7 years apart.
Okay.
So I think that's, and I don't know. I was the only one that went. I have an older sister as well, and I was the only one that went to a private school. Now that I think about it, and then until 7th grade, then I went to a public school in 7th grade because I wanted to go to the school in my neighborhood because I felt like I really didn't have friends besides dance because my private school was so far away from where I lived.
So let's say that your private school was detrimental to your development as a dancer. Is that what you're saying? Yes or no?
Strangely, it was not. In other ways, it was. I think as I've grown older, I have really had to follow my heart and what works for my heart. So there was a lot of things that were pushing me down.
You're being enigmatic. Tell us what happened those years. I want to know. Well, come on.
Yes,
as I grow older. I'm going to take out my violin. Come on.
I mean, for me, I grew up super religious, and I always say super religious, but there was in my family born again Christians. And for me at a young age, it didn't feel right, and I knew I was getting on age too.
You mean it didn't feel right? What didn't feel right? The religious side to your family's life?
Absolutely, like that. Why? To me. I do believe in past lives for me, and I feel like my past lives have told me when this life was like, this is not right for you.
Stand back. Yeah.
And but it was hard, obviously, because I'm a child, and that's where dance really comes into play for my life. And even with that private school, that's where I started my love of musical theater, because I had a teacher that did an after-school program for musicals, and I no doubt she gave up a lot of her time for that, but I'm grateful she did.
You're trying to tell us that it was an escape from a different reality at home.
Absolutely, in many different ways. Dance has always been a form of a healthy
release.
escape
Mm-hmm.
for,
Yeah.
that I'm really grateful I learned about at a young age. And that is why I try to teach people. It's
Mm-hmm.
not just like, oh, I love dance. Yay.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah, yeah,
dance.
yeah. No.
Dance has really helped me through a lot of dark times in my life, or through a lot of struggle of not
Oh,
being
wait a
able to
minute now.
own who I
Wait.
was or
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
understand who I was.
Okay. Of course, we went backwards because I started asking you the power of movement, but then we were starting to talk about your school. So let's just, yeah, I'll control things here. So we have a young boy who started dance that you chose, or did your parents also choose that for you?
No, I chose
Ah.
that. It was something that I wanted to do, and
Uh-huh.
I started doing it. I did it for a year when I was a kid, and then
Uh-huh.
I went, but and then I was like, well, I'm going to try baseball because I obviously it seemed like this is what quote unquote
Oh.
guys do. So I tried that, and the best thing I liked about baseball was putting on the uniform.
Yeah,
So
I
I
can
have
imagine.
vivid memories of being at my private school, putting on that uniform, and feeling like I was in damn Yankees, and like getting changed in the bathroom was like for me like I was so excited to put on the pants and so it was like a costume to me.
Of course.
And this is me at a young age. So like I
Yeah.
look back and I'm like, oh yeah, definitely knew I was gay and
Yeah.
definitely knew I loved creativity.
Yeah, interesting, interesting. So now, we have this boy. Still, you're a boy, okay? I got the boy, and he's moving towards sound. He's going towards sound to movement, but sound and movement are together in your case, isn't it? I mean, dance is sound with music, right?
Yeah,
Movement with
it's in
music.
many different ways. Like you had said, movement is
Life.
movement is life.
Yes.
And it's true. Dance, you need music enhances, but there's also we're moving every day in many
Yes,
different
yes,
ways.
yes.
So I want to say that as well. Like it's important for us to move, and however we can move, please, like I can't encourage people enough to get up, to move, to
Yeah.
take care of your body and your mind. And to me, it actually is really a spiritual experience beyond that. Whether you're the arts
Yes.
to me specifically guide you to a spiritual understanding, in my opinion.
Now, you in Italian we say you're throwing open, pounding on an open door with me because it's something that I thrive on. I mean, you tie me to a chair and I'm dead. I'm just dead. To this day, I still dance Argentine tango, and I love it. I love it. It's fantastic.
Amazing.
And we just as a little sidebar here. Last night was my tango lesson. It was the first time that they let us take our masks off, and it was the first time we could change partners, because Argentine tango is a dance between strangers, between people who don't know each other really, and it was so wonderful. It was such
Such a beautiful moment.
I know. But it was
Congratulations.
Thank you. It was even better because last year, same time, we had to have one partner because there was no changing and with the masks. And so I got a partner who didn't know how to dance. He just didn't know how to dance. And it was terrible for me.
You're like, this was enjoyable. Now this is slightly not as enjoyable.
So now from that age, you're at that age and you know that you're moving towards something you really, really like. When we talk of movement and its power, what do you imbibe that word power with? What does it mean for you?
It means my heart. Like it connects me to my true self, to my true essence. Movement has always, the power of movement has for me always connected to me, to my true self in every aspect, even when I couldn't hold on to, was confused, scared of who I was. Life in general, life happens, and dance.
What about your soul?
Dance for me has helped me continue to hold on and to dance through life.
Yeah. What about your soul? I mean, you say your heart, and I said, he probably means his soul.
Yeah. That's ultimately
Yeah.
and it's because, I think there's tons of things in this world for all of us that pull us away from our true self. And
Like, for example, what?
Well, like I knew I was gay at a young age, and I for sure heard
How
in church
young? How
and
young?
in my family
How
being
young?
gay was not
How
acceptable.
young, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh my gosh, I'd probably say like 6 years old.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
absolutely knew. I was attracted to guys, and it's hard when you're young and you can't be
Oh,
your authentic self. Or I tried,
mm-hmm.
and then it would get shot down, which
Mm-hmm.
taught me to hide or to
Mm-hmm.
not show that side.
Mm-hmm.
And psychologically, it really had an effect on me. I've had to work through it. Thank goodness for therapy
Right,
as
right,
well.
right.
I believe in therapy,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm so grateful that I had dance.
Um,
Dance was the thing that continued.
yeah,
Dance and music,
yeah.
those were the things that when I felt lost, when I felt scared, so much anxiety, so many things, that was the thing that kept pushing me forward. It still does to this day.
I'm thinking that while you're talking, I'm thinking that my first, I was ready to spurt out a question, and the question was, did you find that when you spent so much time with music and dance that your school, because you were young, had to go through grade school and high school, I guess,
Yeah.
did that suffer? But I'm not going to ask that question because the dance is a research. It is, when you learn music and when you learn movement to music, it is a form of research. And I believe that, however, whatever grades you had in math or history or geography, and it didn't matter, because then you were moving in a direction that became your life, right? I mean, it just became
Absolutely.
everything you did.
Yeah, I think that's a really good. That's why I encourage people, no matter what age you are, to dance, to move, and it does help you in your everyday life. It opens the doors that should be open for you. So sometimes I know how it feels to be lost. Lost is a word that keeps coming into my mind right now, and I deal with people that feel that way when they, especially with the live classes. When I was doing live classes before the pandemic,
What exactly are
yeah.
live classes? When you say
Say it again?
live class, what exactly are live classes? When you say
Like in
live?
person. So in
Okay,
person classes. Yeah. And once the pandemic hit, I will be 2 years since I've taught in person in March.
Yeah.
But in
That's
person,
terrible.
people would come in, and, I would talk to them after class. And I remember one story with this woman. She had lost her daughter, her young daughter. And she came up to me and just said, "This is the first time that I have felt present in my body since I lost my daughter a year ago." And
Incredible.
just tears. We were
Yeah,
both crying.
yeah.
And that's the thing, is this is not, this isn't just jazz hands
Yeah,
to me, or
yeah,
like campy.
exactly.
There is, it's really important, and what it does to people and how it does bring you into your body.
It's a
Yeah.
neurophysiological power it has. It works on your emotions, and whether you like it or not, when you work with movement, all of the emotional baggage comes up.
Yep.
It's wonderful. It's
Yeah, it's a
wonderful.
way to let it all
Yeah,
go. I always
yeah.
say bring it to the dance floor. Whatever
Yeah.
you're feeling, whether you're happy, you're sad, you're angry, whatever it is, bring it to the dance floor. Always, always. And that's another big lesson that I learned at a young age. There was times when I did not want to go to dance class.
Oh,
And I'd be
why?
like,
Because
I'm a kid. I don't want to go.
I'm a kid.
And then I was like,
Yeah.
and then I would go anyways, and I would have the best dance
Time.
class of my life. And I was learned at a young age, like even if you don't feel it, maybe
Yeah.
if you
Yeah,
go, then you suddenly, the opportunities become even more.
Yeah.
I have had to learn balance though in my
Oh.
life, and make sure that I understand when it is time to rest,
I know.
not burn yourself out.
I know. You're looking at one who has to still learn. It's a dynamic, it's something that you always have to learn. Balance is always dynamic. I mean, you never stop learning. And you were talking about the not going, wanting to go. I could hear my father's voice say to me, "Ma Claudia," he said, when you don't want to do something and you do it, that's when you learn the biggest lessons of your life.
It's true.
It's true.
It's so true.
It's true.
It's so true. And it
Yeah.
is, because you're facing your fears too.
Yeah.
There's so many things that will say, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't go. And they pull you. But the thing is that, yes, when you do that, it leads to the most magical moments. It really
Yeah.
does. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Your father knew.
Yeah, I know. Let's talk about your career now, because we were leaving then school and the baseball uniform. We're leaving that. And where are we going? What are we doing? Were you in high school then? And when you were deciding what to do, what did that look like, high school for you?
I mean, I knew I wanted to. Broadway was a dream of mine. When I saw my first Broadway show or touring show.
Were you in the Broadway area? Were you in the greater New York area? at that
I
time?
wound up, I moved to New York and did Broadway. I lived in New York for about 7 years and wound up doing
me
Broadway
too.
national tours. And
Oh, how nice.
that's where I met my husband,
Oh,
who we've
how
been together
wonderful.
with now 15 years
Oh,
and
how
married
wonderful.
12 or 13. Yeah,
Ooh.
time flies. It's so
He's a
crazy
boy,
to
ladies
me.
and gentlemen. Everyone who's not watching, I have a boy in front of me. He's talking about a husband 15 years. I don't know where he did that, when he did that.
I rushed. I went. I gave you my Broadway career. No, but I knew in high school that I wanted to be on Broadway and perform professionally. And actually, at my junior year in high school, I wound up auditioning in California, in Los Angeles, for a movie musical called Geppetto that starred like Usher and
heard
Julie
that,
Louis-Dreyfus.
yeah.
And I wound up getting that, and it was such a great experience. And that was my first real professional experience. As well, I grew up in the dance competition world, so I was always
Interesting.
I was learning to face my fears
Yeah.
of being in front of people at a young age, and I'm really grateful for that. But I have to admit, I will never forget the first time I went on stage when I was like 9, and I did this solo. It was my first time I did a solo, and I totally forgot at a dance competition, and I just started doing chanes around the stage. Devastated when I got off stage, but like I learned a lot through that. I learned to continue to move forward.
Yeah.
And these are things, as much as it seems like obvious, it's it's not. We're each on our own journey to face our fears in different ways, and that's why I love teaching, and I love because I've had amazing educators that have helped me continue to move forward, believed in me, and that's where I really try to help people of all different. That's why I love what I do with 567 Broadway. Is it's for everyone, whether you've danced or you haven't, and that's what I really want to help people.
When you say 567 Broadway, now that's what is that? Is that a company
So I wound
name,
up when I moved to after I performed. And the last thing I did as a performer really was a musical in Vegas, and I wasn't as happy. And there was a shift happening.
How many years ago was that about?
Oh gosh, 8 years ago, 9 years ago,
long enough ago.
Yeah, long, and I could feel that I was becoming a little
Burned
bitter
out.
and jaded. Yeah, and it was like the universe was like, it's time for something new.
Yeah.
And I told the universe, whatever you want me to do, I'll do. Just put it before me. And I wound up starting to teach adults, which I had never done before.
Ooh.
And I loved it.
Really?
I absolutely loved it. Yeah. And then I wound up creating a dance fitness program called 567 Broadway, which is combining dance fitness. So it's not a dance class, I would say. It's dance fitness to Broadway music in a way to make people sweat.
I want to join.
You have to.
Yes.
I do live stream classes now, so you'll totally have to.
567, but what time of day?
I usually do it on Saturdays. I know you're in Italy, so we might have
9 hours difference. What time do you do it?
So I teach at 12 p.m. Pacific time. So
that's okay.
That's 9 p.m. for you.
That's okay. Yeah.
So you'll do a nighttime show. That's what I call it.
Ah, nice. Oh, good. I could feel the muscles coming in my legs. All right. Now, 567 Broadway. What's the name? Where's the name come from?
So because 5678 is what you'll like 5678, and I'm just completing 567 Broadway. And that as I was putting ideas together to name this class, I was like 567 Broadway. There's ideas to continue to expand it, like 567 Pop, 567 Strength. There's many other things, but 567 Broadway has been a big dream of mine to continue to put out into the world.
Is your husband also a dancer?
He used to be. Yeah, he used to be a Broadway performer, and now he is an attorney.
Good for him.
I'll take it.
Woo, change of scenery there.
I know. He's always he went to Columbia anyways when he was younger before he went to do
You're
Broadway.
saying that as if it were, he went to Columbia. He's got to be a lawyer. He's
a very smart man, and I've always
imagine
admired
so.
that about him. So I love that he can. I told him, I'm like, you need to write a book one day from like the fact that you did Broadway and now you're an attorney. He's an attorney at Warner Brothers.
Of course. That was my next question. Does he work as an attorney in some kind of?
I know.
Yeah.
It is. He works he's VP of legal at Warner Brothers. So he's doing really incredible things in the world himself.
Yeah, interesting stuff there. But let's get back to you. I'll have him on the show another time.
You were very much, yeah, part of each
After
other's
he
lives,
writes a
that's for sure.
book. Tell him.
I know, one day I'll make
One
him.
day. All right, now, we have this 567 Broadway, and that I will join soon, and Saturday, 9 a.m. And you said the first class is the beginning with adults that you had never done before. And what does that look like? What did you do with them? What kind of dance? What kind of
dance fitness? Dance fitness. So it was to teach dance fitness, and I was like, because I had told the universe, whatever you want me to do, I will do. And I had made that promise because I was like, I'm not happy. And like, whatever you want, please just help me with finding my true happiness. Yeah. And that's when and I would teach dance fitness. And it was a way to connect that I had never done before. And I loved it. It was so great to have that connection with adults and creativity and allowing people to have fun.
The latest thing I've done with something like that is something that they have. I think it's in the United States, all over the world. Zumba.
Zumba's for sure. Zumba's our jazzercise of the time. Okay,
and what is your exercise, fitness, dance? What compared to that? What does it look like?
Yeah, I mean, it's in a similar vibe. I mean, anything dance related always kind of has, especially when it's dance fitness. So I like saying dance fitness because it's geared to cardio. Right. We're squatting, but we're rhythmic squatting. It's all to music, but
what kind
specifically,
of music do you use?
This 567 Broadway is Broadway music. And so we only use Broadway music, and it allows you to bring in creativity into your workout as well, which is really important. And the thing is that they always do it for kids. They're like, kids get the most creative things. Yeah. However, adults need it too, and adults.
But wait a minute, you're saying it allows you to get creative. You mean we the people who are following you, or you as a no,
everybody.
So you turn it on, you say move. How does it work?
So let me give a little breakdown of the class. The first part, it's broken into two acts, Act 1 and Act 2. Act 1 is the main workout, I would say. So it's follow along, 25 minutes. Cardio, we do weights to grease lightning currently. So like that gives you an example of like you're doing bicep curls to grease lightning. But so and that really stays the same. I change numbers every so often with that, but that is so that you can learn it and really come back and perform that as you would a performer 8 shows a week. You get it back out on stage and you perform the shows if it's never happened before. And I really try and bring in that creative feel, like you're a performer on stage. Here we go. And then Act 2, I would do a combo where I break it down and then you perform it at the end of the class. So like last Saturday, we did cats. Now, it's not often we do cats in class, but we did cats because, I thought it would be fun for Halloween time. So so that's kind of and then it's really great because I encourage people to put on workout costumes and allow themselves to get lost into creativity, but also encouraging people dance is really, it's a discipline. So let's be honest. Like I'm not like I want it to challenge you and I want you to learn and grow. And it is so good for your brain. Yeah. The health benefits of what dance can do for your body and mind is amazing. So I try to I'm like, if you forget, it's okay. Just keep coming back and you're going to be awesome. It's true. It takes time sometimes.
How long does it last? The classes?
My live stream classes are an hour and 15 minutes. So that's usually when I was in person, it would be an hour, but I'd want to give people their money's worth. And so it's great because I have people from all over the world and, Australia, Brazil, the UK,
Rome,
Canada, United States. Actually, there was a girl that used to actually take, but the time difference can be a little. The woman in Australia, when I teach, because it's at 12 p.m., it's 5 a.m. for her the next day.
That's far. That's just too far.
She gets up so early. Yeah. But I'm like, hey.
She loves you. He's lovable, ladies
I love
and
her.
gentlemen.
I've gotten to know so many people, and it's been really important to have community. Dance brings people together too. It brings all different types of people together. I love that. We need that. I know. The world needs more of
being together. Wow. I mean, what do I say now? I mean, really, because it is it's if someone said to me, well, what kind of what would your best guest be? And I said, of course, a dancer, but there are not very many dancers around who are, speak publicly. They're not.
True, in a way. Yeah. Yeah, I think the performing aspect of the musical theater side of me and doing, musicals has helped me. I went to acting school too.
Oh, when?
Yeah. In New York, I wound up going to the Lee Strasberg school because being a dancer, and then I was like, I'm competing against a lot of people and I wanted to grow more, but that had gone to school, and I was beyond. I never went to college. So when I moved to New York, I had never gone, but I didn't want to just be a dancer in the back.
Yeah.
I wanted to do more, and that's when I went to the Lee Strasberg School, and I am so grateful for that memory and that time. And I love New York City, and New York City will always hold such a beautiful place in my heart.
I used to go to dance class. I lived in New York, like yourself, 7-8 years, and a crisscross between Broadway and I can't remember the other street. And it was magical because the studio had all these huge windows. It was on a corner, and you saw New York outside, and typically there were 40 of us in class, and it was jazz class, and it was and here I was from this Hicks, New Jersey girl coming, and I just loved the music, and I had the best rhythm of them all, but I couldn't fly like most of them could, but it was just magical. It was magical being there. You felt like you were in the middle of the earth, the place to be for music and dance. Fabulous.
I love New York City, and New York City, the energy. Have to, and that people ask, like, some people are a little like, well, New York or LA, and I'm like, New York you got to love what you do to be in New York City. If you do not love what you do, New York City will truly chew you up and spit you out, because you don't got time for dealing with everything when it's snowing outside, or it's raining, or it's hot and humid.
Snow.
Like, the climate does not allow you to really enjoy it if your heart's not in it. If your heart's not in it, it's best not to maybe be there.
But you're in a place where the weather is much better, right?
Yes, Los Angeles, and I think that's the difference.
I don't care for
LA
Los Angeles that much. I've been several times. I used to be an interpreter for the United States State Department, so I traveled a lot, and I got to Los Angeles quite a bit, and and I still to this day can't get it out of my head that San Francisco, every single time I went, I was not dressed for the weather. I can't understand what is it with San Francisco.
San Francisco is a little different. Yeah, that's for sure. Los Angeles, I have to admit, I love the weather. I love the weather so much. You can't go wrong with 70 degrees.
It's beautiful. It's just gorgeous.
Yeah, California's a beautiful state.
Yeah. So let's get back now just for a moment. We're at the end here, but I'd like to, let's say, I'm going to give you 3 cases, okay? A 10-year-old boy, a 35-year-old man, and a 70-year-old man, okay? They all come to your website, and they're all men, okay? Could be women too, but I just thought men would be more interesting for me to hear. They write to you, and the 10-year-old found you, and he writes to you, I just like what you do and all of that. My mom won't let me. What do you think I could do? What kind of arguments I could give her to let me work with you or go online when you have classes? And the 45-year-old says, or the 35, says, look, I need an outlet. This corporate world is driving me bananas. And the 70-year-old says, I'm retired and I have to move or else I'm going to die. What is your suggestion to them, one at a time, from the youngest?
I deal with people, like, in general, like, beyond, I deal with people like this all the time.
Right.
And so this is not new to me.
That's why I asked.
With the 10-year-old, I get messages because of YouTube. So the younger generation loves YouTube. Yeah. And so I'm really glad that I put YouTube combos up on, I do Act 2 combos on my YouTube channel that are free.
What do you mean by combos? What is a combo?
It's the breaking, it's a combo that I teach from start to the, like, a minute long combo. And then we perform it together. Okay. But YouTube is such a great resource. And again, the younger generation loves YouTube. That's kind of I would say their television in a way. And I always encourage, in the younger generation, there is so much information out there in this
Yeah.
day and age. When I was growing up, and
I
that was
know.
not,
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
not available. So you kind of had what was in your neighborhood.
Yeah.
Now virtually you have so much. So I
So-
always encourage to find it via
Okay.
look on YouTube, and especially now after the pandemic, there's a lot of online
Okay.
virtual stuff that kids
Interesting.
can do.
So just go online, give them a few pointers, and say, "Look, you'll find it here, here, here." This is interesting. What about the 35?
To open the door and start and
Yeah.
let
Push them in
things
the door.
happen.
What
Yeah.
about the 35-year-old?
The 35 is the one that
Corporate
is in the
Americas,
corporate world.
Yeah, lot.
Yeah,
work,
I mean,
no play.
I think encourage that person to dance. Like
Mm-hmm.
if that's their heart, if they suddenly came to me and they're like,
Right.
I'm interested,
Yeah.
I'd be like, great, do it, give it a couple tries and see where it takes you.
But you would
open yourself up
suggest
to
7, 8,
I would-
9, or
I would,
was it
yeah,
5, 6, 7?
obviously, I would consider suggest 5, 6, 7 Broadway.
Yeah.
But also too, I am a supporter of the arts, so I would
Yeah.
say people like come to me, come take class. You can take class with me virtually.
Mm-hmm.
You can. I have a workout video as well. You can do. There's YouTube stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
also too, I am an. If you love doing your Argentinian
Right,
dance
tango,
or like
tango.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's so many different ways to
I know.
use the arts, and I encourage, however, use it where's your heart guiding you to go.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe 5, 6, 7 Broadway is a stepping stone for more in your life. I've come across that so much too. It's a beautiful thing to see where I'm like, yay, this opened you up to want to do something new and more and great.
Now we have the
grateful to be part of your journey.
70-year-old man. The 70-year-old man.
Yeah, dance. Yeah, I deal with that a lot
We
too.
got that.
I mean, you're never too old. You're never too young,
Right.
and you're never too old. Like if your heart is telling you, do it, or also trying something new. See
But
where it takes
would
you.
the 70-year-old man be too difficult? Would it be too difficult for him to follow your 5, 6, 7 Broadway? Would
yeah.
that?
No,
No.
no. I mean, really, I have people from the age of 18 to 75 that take my class. And I always encourage to do what you can.
Yeah.
Also, what does your doctor tell you? So like making sure to always listen to what your doctor says is right for you, especially if you're older and you're dealing with some stuff. What does your doctor say you can and cannot do? But yeah, I say tailor to what works for you when you're taking class from me. If the doctor told you don't jump, don't jump.
Okay.
If it's moving a little too fast, take a step back, allow yourself, but obviously remember that it does take time. And I see people in my class that are older shining brightly, and this is really something for everyone. Especially, I came out with a workout video before the pandemic. We wound up doing this on a stage, and we had to get legal rights for music and everything. And that is a true representation. The people in that workout video are my students, and they're all different types of people. And I love that I get messages like, it's so interesting to see that there's so many different types of people together, from age to ethnic, to the body types. I'm like, this shouldn't be weird. In my opinion, this should not be. Fitness is not for the elite. Fitness is for everyone, and dance especially is for everyone. But also, listen to yourself and what you can do, especially if you're 75 and you need to, slowly get yourself, but still continue to move forward. And I hope that I can hear your podcast when I'm older and remind myself when say, yes,
Just go listen.
keep dancing.
Go back.
Because I know,
listen.
I get it.
So now I have here a couple of links. I have an Instagram link, Facebook link, a YouTube link, and TikTok. But the 5, 6, 7 Broadway, where exactly can people find that if they want to join?
Yeah, you can find me at 567broadway.com, and everything is there. So 567broadway.com, or you look up my name, Joseph Corella, but that's a little harder if you're like, how do you spell his last name? But 567broadway.com, and all the social media. You can even message me too if you have a question.
Good.
But everything is there, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have. And I hope that if you're hearing this, that you get up and move and you dance, and I'm telling you, it will lead to some magic that is unexplainable.
It's magic. Unexplainable,
but,
right. Magic.
Yeah.
Joseph, the magician, thank you so much for coming. And this is, I'm encouraging people to make magic by dancing. Yeah. I do hope we will cross paths again when that book is coming out, right? I remember you were telling me.
I know. Hey, see,
There will be a book.
but I love it. You heard it here first. Thank you so much for having me on. It's been so
You're
great
welcome.
chatting. You're awesome.
We'll talk again soon. Bye-bye, Joe. Bye-bye.
All right, thank you so much.